live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the VRaaS Cast Live number 12. Let's see here. We are just checking some audio. Everything looks like it's going through. Is the audio going through in the stream? Awesome. We are good. VRaaScast Live number 12. Always got to keep everything sharp at the beginning, making sure we are ready to go. So, the VRaaScast Live number 12 brought to you by Austin VR Lab. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Mohammed. Today is Wednesday, so that means today is Austin VR Lab Project Day. So, Wednesdays are a day that we like to jump into an Austin VR Lab project, talk with one of our clients, show you one of the projects that we're currently working on, or maybe even some projects that we've worked on in the past, which is kind of what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about some Austin VR Lab activations and how we brought virtual reality and still bring virtual reality to your next event. In these modern times, COVID events are a little bit more scarce and sparsed out, and so there are some new precautions that we do take with virtual reality and putting people into virtual reality in large scale events. In the past, we've done everything from music festivals to birthday parties, bachelor parties, corporate events, and that's really been a whole lot of fun. But with the challenges that 2020 has brought to large scale events and actually, putting headsets onto people, we have taken a little bit of a step back from doing large things. But now, as the year progresses and as we evolve, we have started doing events again and event activations. So that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about. Austin VR Lab, we are a full scale virtual reality services firm. And so what that means is we provide VRaaS, virtual reality as a service, kind of a term we coined here at Austin VR Lab and labeled ourselves the VRaaS company. So we're so glad you could join us today. Go ahead, and if you like this content, you want to keep coming back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or just tune in whenever you want, go ahead, like and subscribe. If you would like to interact with us, hit up that chat box. That's why we're here. And that's one of the reasons we don't pre-record these. We like to do these live. So again, and when I say we, I want to bring in Andre here on the Everything Cam.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. So Andre is here in the studio with us. He kind of helps me out with looking things up, interacting with y'all. So if you're chatting, and you see the chat back, that's Andre you're talking to. Also, Andre is one of our consulting VR specialists here at Austin VR Lab. So if you're interested in working with Austin VR Lab directly on a project, be sure to hit him up. He's going to put his email there in the chat box. Andre is great at helping you decide what's the right virtual reality project for you and how we can bring virtual reality to your industry. Also, we work in the arts and industry, so you're going to kind of see a combination of that today when we talk about and show you how we have applied our virtual reality labs out in the field. Now, when we started Austin VR Lab, we started out as content creators and immediately found that there was a lack of to access to hardware and education and how to use VR. So we had two choices. Of course, we had our offices here at Austin VR Lab, and when we had our clients and friends and family and guests come in, what we found was there was a void and a lack to access to hardware and software and guiding people through virtual reality, most of them for the first time. Almost everyone we put into virtual reality, we put them in for the first time. And we had two choices. We could either build our own virtual reality arcade and showroom and hope that people came to us, or we took the less taken path, which is we put all of our systems into Pelican cases, developed a model in which we could come to an event or come to a location and deploy that virtual reality lab on site. And this led to doing a bunch of virtual reality activations, everything from music festivals to corporate events to boxing nights to bars and restaurants on a slower evening where they wanted to draw a crowd, and we were able to provide virtual reality on site, and those kind of led into our VR activations here at Austin VR Lab. Then the natural evolution, as people saw us deploy virtual reality on site, people wanted to have these virtual reality systems not only installed in their businesses and their homes, but as you'll find out, virtual reality takes some guidance, and that's another reason why Austin VR Lab is here, is to guide and help manage and help train in virtual reality. So now these pictures that are popping up behind me, this is our Google Chromecast. I keep it up to kind of keep a eye on the time and help you keep an eye on the time so you're not having to constantly look at your watch. I do not pick these pictures that are popping up behind me, so I have no idea. We kind of like to keep it random and keep your attention that way too. Again, we're so glad you're here. So glad you've been able to join us today. If you have any questions or comments or just want to pop in and say hi, go ahead and hit that chat box up. We'll try to get to any questions. Of course, we will get to any questions either directly in the cast, or if we need to email you or contact you afterwards, we are more than happy to do that. You're tuned into the VRaaScast Virtual Reality as a Service, brought to you by Austin VR Lab. Again, my name is Mohammed, and let's go ahead and jump into what we are planned to talk about today. So we are going to talk about Austin VR Lab activations and lab setups. And so if you go to our YouTube channel, here on the home page, if you scroll down here, of course, there's the VRaaScast Live playlist there. If you want to go back and look at any of our past VRaaScast Lives, those are some of our highlighted episodes. And right below that, you're going to find Austin VR Lab activations. So let's go ahead and click on that playlist. Let me make sure the volume is turned off so we don't drown us out. Awesome. So let's go ahead and start with our first activation. So this is an art gallery. Again, Austin VR Lab, we wanted to take, well, where do we want to apply a virtual reality the most? And we are super passionate about the arts and industry, and how we can not only bring virtual reality to both arts and industry, but we can also combine the two. Whether we are working with an AEC firm in architecture, engineering, and construction, where we're helping an architect or an engineering firm bring their art, that is their business, into VR, or we're working with an art gallery and bringing an art exhibition, something that we've created custom, something that someone else across the world has created, that we are trying to display. And then we can also help you create your own artistic content in VR, and then help distribute it and bring it to the world and put it into different art galleries. And if you're an art gallery and you want one of these virtual installations installed, please contact us. We would love to show you how it is that we are bringing virtual reality to both art and industry and just combining all three together. And this playlist you can actually see here too will show you all the different art galleries and different types of events that we have brought virtual reality to. So we set it up as a mobile VR arcade. We have operators to guide you through VR, and that's one of the key elements of bringing virtual reality to a modern society. Is we all know how to use computers and smartphones, and we've evolved with them, but putting a VR headset on your face and having controllers and being aware of being in two realities, both physically and then how I describe it, it's mental teleportation. When you put these headsets on, you mentally teleport away into the experience, and it is completely immersive. And being able to feel confident and comfortable in both environments for the user is key. And especially if it's someone's first time in virtual reality, then they're definitely going to want to have someone who's experienced there, that they can trust, that they are being put into an experience. One of the things that we don't do, and I will never do, is I will never put someone in zombies their first time in virtual reality, right? We're not trying to scare anyone. So, but what we want to do is find an experience that's going to be right for the user, whether that's moving through Google Earth and flying around like you're Superman, or tilt brush and painting, or fixing a robot and or being a Jedi in Star Wars, and working on the Millennium Falcon and having a lightsaber, or working on some droids. And then how can we apply all the possibilities in virtual reality to the actual event? So the video you're seeing right now on your screen behind me here is a virtual wine event that we did. So this winery wanted to bring a new experience to their exhibition of their wine. And so what we did is we created a virtual reality wine bar. And then we were able, and this wine, of course, perfect name. The universe sent it to us. They are called imagery wine. They are a wine that's based on imagery and art. And so we were able to take that experience and build a virtual bar, and then they were able to paint on top of that bar. Again, whether you're painting at an art gallery, or you're doing an exhibition, or you're playing Star Wars, bringing that immersive artistic experience into the gallery, and then bringing the users in and out of that experience, you want someone there to bring them in and out. So when we come and install one of our installations or exhibitions or labs, the difference between the two is an exhibition would be something where we just show what virtual reality can be. An activation would be where we actually start putting the guests and the clientele into virtual reality. And a lab would be a more permanent installation in your home or business, where we bring a virtual reality lab and install it. But in all use cases, that management, that training, the use of having an operator and putting people in and out of virtual reality is super important. Look, the phones are already ringing here. Our business line, if you heard that ring, that might be a client already who's watching this stream that wants to hop in and bring virtual reality to your business. Again, we will get to those calls. Also, I feel like a telethon operator. Like the calls are coming in. But Andre's here. Email him. He's happy to answer any of your questions. Next up, what you're kind of seeing behind these videos are kind of flying, so we'll get to it. So this is when we used to bring virtual reality to music festivals, back when music festivals were a thing. Hopefully they will be a thing again in the future. We're super excited. This was for Euphoria Music Festival, where we were set up in different areas throughout the festival, where we were able to give people a whole new experience while they were there enjoying a music and art festival. So there was everything at these festivals, from, of course, live music to gong sound portals to different types of artists. But how could we take the art experience and give the clients and the people at the music festival, the attendees, and a chance to create their own virtual art? And so as they're experiencing the music and the sound, be able to paint in virtual reality through Google Tilt Brush. And then we were able to take the camera and go in and film these great pieces of art that were created for Euphoria Music Festival, and then we're able to create videos like these that show the art on top of it. So again, a great installation for any type of art or music festival that you consider hosting. We're going back to, this is another wine event that we did here in Austin. As you can see, it's your traditional wine event, people, learning about the wine and learning about all the different aspects of the wine. But then how do we take that experience and make it interactive? How do we give people something to do? And one of the awesome things that you can see in these videos is we take what the person is seeing in VR and we project it. We can project them out onto walls and gardens, anywhere. We don't bring screens, we bring projectors, so we can adapt to the space. And then when we project what the user is seeing, it creates an environment for everybody to enjoy the person who is in VR and enjoy that same experience. I've been putting people in VR since 2016, and today it is still as fun as it was the very first day. Absolutely amazing and fun to watch someone enjoy VR for the first time. this next video behind me. This is one that's close to my heart. Um, this is one where we were able to go for a time into retirement communities and put the elderly into virtual reality. And the feedback that we got was absolutely amazing. The experiences that we got to share with this community were absolutely mind blowing. Now, one thing that was really fascinating is because we were able to explain the technology and because we were able to bring the expertise of the technology to these communities, they were absolutely thrilled to hop into virtual reality and put these headsets on their faces, dive in. We traveled the world, we went skiing, we did different experiences, and they were absolutely excited that they were alive to see this massive jump in technology where it became completely immersive. Many of the guests were like, I can't believe that this is actually exists while I'm still alive. And to be able to provide that for them was absolutely great. I'm going to replay this video while I'm talking. So, one of the things that we were able to do with the elderly community is some of these patients, were suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's, um, kind of stuck in a loop in a community where they saw the same thing over and over again every day. And we were able to bring them a new experience and bring them out of the world that they were currently in and mentally teleport them into a new world. Now, we brought this in as a entertainment event for these communities, but the feedback we got from their nurses was how fantastic the therapy of having virtual reality access was for these clients or for these residents of these communities. So much so that we had patients who had Alzheimer's who couldn't remember what they had for breakfast. A couple days later, asked, "Hey, can we do some more virtual reality?" So they remembered the technology, and the nurses, how they explain it, is like something in them woke up. And really, again, we're not doctors, and we would love to do more studies on this, but just bringing it in as an entertainment value to these communities was absolutely priceless. And again, we've done everything from music festivals to retirement communities to bachelor parties and bachelorette parties. We even did virtual reality at a wedding. That was fun. We did a virtual guest book where the attendees of the wedding could hop into 360 pictures of the bride and groom and signed a virtual guest book. And that was actually a really fun one and a new, cool, futuristic memory for the couple where they were able to have a virtual reality setup at their wedding, have something for their guests to do that blew their minds, and then also be able to leave a virtual signature and memory in their virtual guest book. So many different applications to virtual reality in the event activation space. And now, of course, that led us to when we started doing these corporate events, concrete events, HVAC conventions, real estate conventions, where people started saying, hey, I can use that virtual reality aspect in my business, whether it was through touring buildings, whether it was for doctors, where we can load in a patient's MRI and they can walk around in an MRI scan magic school bus style right inside their patient's body and turn a dial and remove the muscle mass and just see the bones and nerves. And so basically taking what an MRI can do and in a virtual experience where you're completely immersed, absolutely priceless, right? So we're able to take the and field trips, right? We had teachers getting into virtual reality and saying, I need to show my students what it's like to walk among pyramids. I need to fly around Google Earth. I need this technology to augment my curriculum. And so everything from art galleries to schools to construction companies, we started installing virtual reality labs into their places of business and into their industry. And so let's go ahead. change that up a little bit, stop the movement. And so, what we were able to do is not only bring this technology to the business and we're able to bring it to them, but you're never going to be out of date with what's going on. Because virtual reality, there's so many updates. Tune in Mondays. Mondays are our VR news days where we talk about all the latest and greatest things in virtual reality. But virtual reality isn't necessarily just an off the shelf headset. There are off the shelf headsets, but there are so many. There's also PC based VR, which we do on Fridays. So be sure to tune in on Fridays. Fridays are our get in VR days where we get into some PC based VR with 6 degrees of freedom where we actually interact. Sometimes we do things that are industry related, and sometimes we just play games and race Ferraris around the Dakota track. So definitely tune in Fridays. Those are ones that you definitely don't want to miss. And we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday live. And we're here live again so you can interact. So if you have something to say, hit up that chat box. We will get to it. If you just want to say hi, we would love for you to say hello and let us know you're here and let us know you're watching. If you're watching this in the future, and we are not live, again, if you want, Andre has already put up his email up there. If you want to send us an email and contact us about how you can bring virtual reality to your next event or bring it to your business, we would love to be able to provide that for you and at least give you a heads up of what direction we might be heading. Again, one of the reasons that having a VR lab in your business or in your industry, it's beneficial for you to have an Austin VR lab, a VRaaS company, put that system in is because we're going to have to upgrade and to be able to keep you up to date with what software matches up with what hardware, with what your virtual reality goals are. Being able to bring all that together and give you the most bang for your buck and give you a system that's always working. Glitches happen. Technology can sometimes break, especially, virtual reality, the industry as a whole is still very much in beta. We are just now approaching what is possible in VR. And sometimes these things don't work the same every day, and you need a VR expert there to be able to make sure it's working flawlessly, especially when you need it, like in a presentation or when you are working on a project. And so that's what we provide with our systems is you're not only getting a virtual reality system, but just like in our events, you're getting an expert there to help manage your software, manage the hardware, and help train you in how to use it and train your staff on how to use it, and then just generally show you what's new and what's possible and help you create a better business and help you really bring the future to your industry and bring the future to your business. So that's kind of what we aim to accomplish and we do accomplish with bringing virtual reality to your industry. Or if you want to install a virtual reality exhibition in your art gallery where you want different exhibitions from different artists, but you always need someone there to operate. I kind of call our operators squires, kind of like knights used to go into battle and they would need a squire to put a helmet on, give them controllers, and or give them joust control, give them a joust or a sword and tell them what to expect, right? Knights all day. So in the future with virtual reality, it's kind of the same thing, especially if it's your first time. You need a squire there. You need someone to help you put on the headset, give you your controllers, help explain to you what to expect, and then most importantly, help manage the space, right? Help you stay within bounds, but also help you feel free to explore and feel more comfortable. And that's something that we are experts in is building that trust and helping people get into VR for the first time and then helping people get in VR for the fifth, sixth, seventh time, but also to experience something new and to be the VR guide. And of course, when you're ready to fly on your own, help you jump out of the nest and fly. So that is pretty much what I wanted to cover for today. Again, if you have any questions, hit us up. We do like to keep these under 30 minutes. We want to keep you moving throughout your day. And I'm glad you were able to tune in. If you're tuned in on your lunch break, so happy you were here. So happy you got to experience and be a part of the VRaaScast Live, brought to you by Austin VR Lab. Again, my name is Mohammed, and we will see you. Friday is New Year's Day, so we might not get in virtual reality. We might have a special episode. We still haven't decided yet, but we will definitely be back next week. Monday's News Day, Wednesday Austin VR Lab Project Day, and Friday Get in VR Days. So glad you were able to join us. Until next time, we will see you in the future.
Happy New Year's, everyone. Take care.
Oh, there's Andre. Andre wanted to say goodbye too. There.
Yeah, goodbye. And be sure to like us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We have all the links down in the description. And if we don't make it on New Year's, have a good one. Be safe and take care.
Thank y'all. Awesome.